Hi people, Tracey Hudson here from the HR department. I just wanted to do a quick video to talk about the changes that are in place now that came into effect in April 2024. I've done a video about this before and we've kind of sent out newsletters to people and news flashes, but I'm really conscious that still quite a lot of SME employers aren't aware of these changes. So the first thing is the changes to flexible working. Employees already have the right to request flexible working, but the change from April you need to know about as an employer, because you need to know that employees can make 2 requests per year now instead of 1 request every 12 months. Now they can do it twice a year. Also, the response deadline has changed. So it used to be that you had 3 months to respond to an employee's request, but that's been brought down to 2 months, so a much shorter time frame. The other thing is that employees don't have to explain the impact of their request, so they don't have to think about the impact on their team, the impact on workload, the impact on customers. They don't need to consider any of that when bringing their request. But it's really important that employers must give reasons, fully explain the reasons for denying the request if you can't agree to it. The other thing that's I think is really important is that employees now have a day one right to bring this request. So you could have somebody start on Monday and then on their first day they submit a flexible working request. It used to be that they had to wait 6 months, and I think that's really critical because they don't know your business yet, and they don't know how you work, and they don't know what your customers are like, and they don't understand the demands of the business. So they can't consider the impact on the team when they're asking for a flexible working request from day one of working with you. So you've got to really think about that in terms of how you respond to those requests. The other thing is carers leave. This one I don't think will be used as much because it's just 1 week of unpaid leave a year if you're a carer. So that's if you have caring responsibilities for somebody with a disability, if they're old age, so kind of aging parents, or if they have an illness or an injury that's going to take them 3 months or longer to recover, then you're entitled to a week off a year. But as it's unpaid, I'm not sure how popular that is going to be. The other thing is increased protection for people who are on maternity leave or have come back from maternity leave. So if a role is redundant, we're talking about redundancies now, if a role is redundant, employers have got to give the pregnant employee or somebody who's returned from maternity leave priority when it comes to looking at vacant roles in the business as an alternative to redundancy. And this can apply for those on adoption leave or parental leave as well. The timescales are 18 months after the child is born or 18 months after the child was adopted. So those are important kind of dates that you need to think about when you're doing any sort of restructures that might result in redundancies. There's a few other things that are coming into force later this year that we're anticipating. Big one in the hospitality sector is there are changes in how tips are distributed. Another one is the fire and rehire code of practice is going to be released on that. So we anticipate that will mean you won't be able to fire and rehire any longer. And then also when we think about those industries that have kind of casual workers, 0 hours contracts, there will be a right to request a predictable working pattern or a more predictable working pattern. And then finally, there's also going to be a law that requires employers to take steps to prevent sexual harassment. This isn't going to be big business stuff. I mean, obviously it does apply to big business, but I think a lot of employers, as I talk to them, feel that they're small employers, so some of this stuff doesn't necessarily apply, but all this stuff is going to apply to you guys. So if you need to have or you want to have a conversation about this, or you want to understand how it impacts your business, then please get in touch with me or my team, because we'd be really happy to talk this through with you.